What's up, Slackers? We're here for our first episode of Slack&Cast. You know what? I've been wanting to rebrand it forever. We're going to call it Slackcast. Welcome to our podcast. Yeah, it's just executive decision all over you.
Can it still be a podcast if we're not listening to it on an iPod?
No, it can't. And that's the kind of existential question
Samsung?
we're here to talk about here on our first E3 special of 2016. That's called a segue, guys. We're going to be, first things first, we're going to be jumping in. We're doing them in chronological order, so we're going to start with EA. Not too much that we're that excited to talk about. So, let's dive right into it. First thing we want to talk about is Titanfall 2.
EA started with Titanfall 2. I really liked Titanfall. It was fun. It's a tragedy to me that Titanfall's dead, because it would be fun to, go kick around every once in a while. I liked the way you could move in that game. I liked what they did with verticality, because that's not a thing you see in a lot of shooters these days.
Yep, and I really liked the mech fighting. I mean, there wasn't enough variance between them, but the mechs that did exist were a lot of fun.
And, there's always downloadable content. That's, the biggest thing. So, with Titanfall 2, you might get more mechs.
They confirmed that. I think there's 5 different mech types for Titanfall 2 right off the bat. So, already there's a lot more diversity. And each one of them has a really different moveset instead of slight variance.
Cool.
So, looks like it's already going to be a lot more robust. The other thing that's really exciting, which was one of the major complaints of Titanfall 1, was that there's a single-player campaign for Titanfall 2.
That's true. I don't know, I'm kind of sad about that, because I liked the way that Titanfall approached its narrative and its story, where you'd jump in, you'd play, I think it was 8 or 10 multiplayer games with just, story radio comms and, briefings between, and then how you, played through the campaign and whether your team won or lost shaped the story you got, and I thought that was fun.
Definitely.
Even if it was kind of hard to follow, because you were listening to, robot chatter with your actual teammates being like, hey, I'm hitting this point.
Right. So I think, I agree with you that it was a cool idea. I do think it was something that made Titanfall suffer a little bit. And I think that's probably why it didn't necessarily resonate enough to keep it going. So I'm excited to see that they're going to do a first-player campaign. I'm excited to learn more about the world of Titanfall. Seems like we're going to learn a lot about how...
That's the upcoming MMO, right? World of Titanfall.
I was just like, did I say the wrong name or something? You looked at me and I was just like, did I fuck up?
No. Wait, it's Final Fantasy 14, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know, it's cool. There's a lot of stuff about, the relationship between the people and the mechs. It seems like the mechs have some kind of AI that I wasn't aware of. I don't know. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, you could, get out of your Titan and fucking have it fight for you.
That's true.
What?
I didn't know that they were, sentient, though.
Can you send it into battle and blow it up?
Well, you could rig it to explode when it died, but no, you could just eject and the Titan would fight for you. Whoa. Or you could drop the Titan one place and be still, a minute away, and it would have, a 30-second bubble, and then it would just beat shit up until you got there.
Yeah, it was cool.
Hey, guys, best idea ever. Scrap the whole Titanfall 2 thing. Gundams.
I really thought you were going to say Iron Giant, and I'm a little disappointed that I built it up in my mind.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait for the Iron Giant fall mod.
That would be the saddest video game of all time.
Anyway, so I don't want to spend too much more time on Titanfall 2. We have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
So, other relevant information, the game comes out on October 28th. There's a beta that's imminent that you can go find out about on Titanfall.com or Titanfall2.com. I don't know, figure it out, Google. And that the team will not be charging for map or mode add-ons at any point.
That's fucking huge.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. No,
that's the death knell for. Honestly, it's what killed Titanfall is
segmenting the audience.
If your game's small and you break up the audience with premium mode, Battlefield can get away with it. COD can get away with it. Nobody else can, because they're not games that everybody and their mother buys.
Yeah.
So if you're still trying to play Titanfall now, I think they made all the DLC free after it was already dead. But
right,
it's really cool.
A noble gesture.
They're not breaking it up.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart move.
Anyway, onward to things that look way less good.
Yeah, so...
Let's watch the trailer.
Yeah, so that's it. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, we're going to be watching trailers for certain videos that or games that we were more interested in, or that had more interesting visual components. So, for the things that we just talked about, you have to go watch them on your own. For these, you can watch them right here in the video with us. So, give us 1 second.
It's going to be an experience.
Oh, boy.
Also, you might not know me. I'm Spaz.
He's not Spaz. He's Anthony.
No.
Now we're back.
That's Penis.
Okay.
That's...
has always depended on our drive to seek out the
So yeah, this is kind of like a dev diary thing. It's like half trailer, half just them talking about
That's
Mass
pretty.
Effect.
Is that the in-game graphics? That looks
That's
weird.
not totally certain. It looks like it might be an engine, but
Thanks.
That's not graphics. Okay.
Well, they're good at
that's,
graphics.
that's just a man.
I was gonna say, wow, that's really impressive.
That looks so realistic.
I don't know. What are they showing?
They're showing you how
They're
to
showing us environments.
You'd know what they were talking about if you didn't talk over it like I
Right?
did.
Here's some alien
fair.
life forms, unexplored worlds. You're exploring the Andromeda Galaxy.
That's an Asari.
Yep. But it looks like it might be like some kind of
young
like-
one.
like maybe it's some Asaris that are like locked in this other dimension, galaxy and have like a different culture maybe.
You think?
I don't know, maybe.
No,
Did
so-
they make this in Frostbite? Because that looks really
Yes.
pretty. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
All EA games are on Frostbite now.
That I love Frostbite. It's
was
the
the-
second best engine.
That was that Shadow Broker race.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever that
Yeah, whatever he
was
was.
called.
We're gonna see more of them. But see, yeah, I mean, like,
Hey, is that the Citadel?
was it?
No, I think that was just a gate.
No, the Raspberry Relays looked more sleek, kind of like Covenant ships.
That's not Shepard.
Well, I mean, depends
Oh,
on how
I
you
get
use
it. Her name is Andromeda.
yeah, that's her last name, Andromeda. There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, if that's
Okay,
real-
guys. So that's the trailer.
Yeah.
So, thoughts, feels. What do we think?
I'm not like in love with it, but I'm not. It's a bland show you nothing trailer that
Yeah.
assumes you're gonna buy the game on the Mass Effect name. Which, to be honest, I probably am.
Exactly. Yeah.
But why wouldn't you like?
I don't-
It's such a big name. It's like, why wouldn't you not just give us at least a little bit more?
Did they give us a like a date or
Nope.
just
No.
No date.
okay? So they're not giving us any more because they don't really
Have any more?
have any more to show us.
What that trailer says to me is that this game is nowhere near done.
Yeah, this game is
Oh,
not
man.
coming out this year. Probably not coming out next year.
Yeah, it's probably
So, like,
2018. 2018 game at the earliest.
Yeah, and you know what? Take your fucking time. Like,
Yeah.
I would love it to be good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm willing to wait 2 years for the game if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mass
And-
Effect 3 came out like how many years ago now?
A long time.
At this,
But
But you gotta think they did.
And
they-
it still hurts.
it's
Till this
Hey,
day.
we have
really
a-
fucking good.
We have a whole podcast where you can hear Thompson's
Yeah.
complaints about Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
You gotta think they were
I
working
wasn't
on.
on that podcast.
I argued your side. Don't worry.
Okay.
Dragon Age Inquisition took up the last like 4 years of their life. So
That's true.
You know they haven't been working on Andromeda for that long.
what a letdown.
I think the
it's-
issue is they
It's so
announced
weird
it
to
too
me
early.
that you just said what a letdown about Dragon Age Inquisition, but we'll defend Dragon Age 2 to the death, but that's a different
That's
point.
another conversation, and I'm against you on
Dragon
that
Age
one.
2 knew what it was.
Everyone's got different opinions
So did
tonight.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Anyway, okay. So yeah, that being said, what we did see looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like the locales look interesting and everything. It's just like we have no idea what this game's gonna be, and a lot of what we did here scares me. The idea of it being the biggest Bioware game or the most free Bioware. I know you guys didn't hear that because we were talking over it,
Okay.
but that's one of the comments they made is that what is it? More freedom than we've ever given in a Bioware game, and my exact response to that is yikes.
yeah.
Because
maybe in terms of talking.
I hope, but I don't think that's what they mean.
Like I really can't. Like I'm done with giant open worlds.
Yeah,
Done.
I have open
Like-
world fatigue for sure, and
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite, but doesn't mean that scares me for them.
Yeah, I
you know?
mean,
it's pretty
I'm
promising.
I'm willing to see.
I mean, just in BioWare's defense, isn't Mass Effect the kind of game that like makes sense for an open world?
I mean,
like
the
space
name.
is.
Yeah.
The name is Mass Effect. Like the first trailer of the first game was like, "Hey, make a decision here." Remember that first trailer was like, "Hey, don't answer the call on that planet; they're gonna die." So it was like a Mass Effect. Whoa, like holy shit! And like this having a big world kind
Oh
of
my
makes sense.
god, Thompson.
Whatever, man. It makes sense. If it's a big ass world and it's at least got character to it, and it's not like copy paste crap, then it should be okay.
Yeah, man. As long as it's not Inquisition where there's lots of emptiness. Like I personally would rather have a game that Bioware kind of funnels me through the narrative they want to tell me, but it seems as though they're not keen on doing that. So all I can hope is that the narrative I'm allowed to create for myself is as engaging.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Hopefully. Hopeful.
Because
Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited for the game. Don't get me wrong.
If they
There's
need
a
to
lot-
take off like
There's a lot of
7
places
years.
you could go in Mass Effect 2, and it you know, they still really kind of pushed the narrative, but like you were allowed to go.
Yeah, you
do
had a
other
lot of
stuff.
options.
But
Yeah,
you also
and I
get
felt
the
like that was
same place.
perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with an open world as long as it's interesting and has stuff. Like that
Yeah.
was Inquisition's biggest problem with its like open world, is that it was just huge for the sake of being huge.
Yeah.
It's just empty,
And I feel like,
like my heart.
I feel like not being tethered to the last gen will do a lot for this in
I
that
agree.
regard.
I think on the other side of it too is that like I also don't want it to be like Witcher big where it's overwhelming and I feel like I'm gonna be missing things because that would also really bother me.
That's
Game,
fair.
that game's so big it makes me want to throw up.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on
to
to
an
the
RPG I'm way
Throw
more
up.
excited about.
And he ends
FIFA
off by
17,
saying
the
he wants
journey.
to throw up.
Oh!
So yeah, we just have a couple quick things for
Make sure to put
our,
points in kicking.
for our roundup.
Yeah.
They talked a bunch about Madden. It's more Madden, whatever.
There's another one.
They talked
It's
about
Madden with the BuzzFeed or the buzzword selling points they're gonna give you.
Yeah.
To tell you Madden's changed, but not really like they do every year.
so whatever.
New
We're not
roster.
interested in Madden.
As
You
long
want
as
to
Larry
talk about
Fitzgerald's
Madden?
in it, I'm probably gonna get it.
No, you're not. There's plenty of other places to talk about Madden on YouTube. So FIFA 17, don't want to talk about it too much, but to Andy's point, something that I thought was really interesting, I wanted to give a shout out for, is the game has a really robust looking story mode that seems, I described it to the guys as the Tony Hawk's Underground of soccer.
So like FIFA Underground 2017.
Yeah,
That's
like
pretty much it. That's
you,
exactly
you
what
play
I
like
might play that
you
game.
play this like young kid who wants to become a pro soccer player, and you like work your way up through the ranks, and you have to get like a manager and stuff. It's like it's crazy. It looks really in depth. Seems pretty interesting. Not my kind of game, but if you're into sports games, looks like it would be cool. So yeah.
If you like
Yeah.
soccer and you're an
Um,
American.
Hey, Pete, I have an idea. Soccer is
Football.
just like real world Rocket League, but it's people instead of cars.
I'm
I
in.
don't know if it's
I'm in.
You can't take a formula.
You lost me at not
No.
cars.
You can't take a formula that works and change it like that.
Like that.
Jesus Christ, God. I'm all for outside the box, but this is crazy.
All right, so the next thing that that they talked about was a new indie focused program called EA Originals, which is basically focused on bringing out more games like they did with Yarny last year. The first game they showed off was a game called Fee, which is like kind of an artful indie game, which we're going to show the trailer for you guys right now. All right,
so
guys,
this is
we're here with the Fee E3 trailer.
Iron within, iron without.
It's a sequel to PT.
So essentially, this game you play as this cute little Umbreon-looking motherfucker, and the whole thing is you live in this forest. Every creature, every living thing in the forest has its own song that you have to somehow learn to gain all these different powers that allow you to traverse the forest. And yeah, there's like no dialogue. It's all driven with music and art.
This game is gorgeous.
Banjo Kazooie and the Blind
I
Forest.
think it's
Journey?
right?
Basically Journey is what I saw.
It also yeah.
Journey.
Okay,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
these are the antagonists. They look like they're humans. They're totally silent, and when they come to the forest, they silence the thing's songs, and you have to avoid them and stop them.
I think
It's
they're
like
called
that
the
Daft,
Trumps.
It's like the Daft Punk movie where they take everyone's music
You're
away.
right. It's actually true.
So if Journey was
More
mixed with
accurately,
Daft Punk,
It reminds me of
It's like that episode of the Powerpuff Girls where that dead magician takes all their music and color away.
Oh, Jesus, there's still some
Oh,
color.
That, that show got dark sometimes.
Yes,
did.
it-
Oh, I got dark.
Dude, him.
I could just lose myself like
him, his infernal majesty, terrible. The devil himself was in the Powerpuff Girls.
You know, I'm usually all about the indie games.
Yeah,
not
And-
feeling it.
I'm not feeling.
I'm
this.
not feeling it.
I'm not
Really?
feeling this. A
I'm
little.
super feeling this.
Nah, I don't know what it is.
I think it looks really cool. I can't wait to see like how really the game mechanics work.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm really interested in it. I like the idea of it
Dude,
being
it
driven by
looks
music.
awesome.
I like the look of it a lot too.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the music, but the look is not. It's just not grabbing me. I don't know.
Too much of the
It's-
same color for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
A
color
little bit.
palette is.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the simplistic nature of it.
I don't mind simplistic.
I-
it's just a little.
But like I really like how it
Bland.
kind of
Yeah,
has that metallic
somehow.
look to it. And I wonder what I don't know. I'm a sucker for like subtext and stuff, so I can't wait to see. I don't know. I feel this is probably going to be a game with like a message if you look for it.
The
And
developers were
I'm
talking
really
about
interested
it.
to see that.
They're saying that the focus is about like our relationship with nature. So that's what leads me to believe that the antagonists are people. But yeah, that's doesn't grab you. But I'm interested in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll play it because I'll
Yeah.
play anything, but it's not on my first playthrough kind of list.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, it's not a game I'm waiting with bated breath for, but I'm really excited about the EA Originals program as a thing.
I am too.
I love the sort of outreach we're doing from AAA gaming to indie gaming, because indie gaming is where my heart lives.
AAA games are garbage.
No, AAA games aren't
we
garbage.
just showed like 2,
That's-
like Titanfall and Mass Effect.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's really
Come
cool
on.
to see when companies like EA and like Sony's been doing this with like Sony Santa Monica and stuff, where you have like these bigger studios that have the experience of like working on games with 300 people, like reach out to these like smaller teams of like 20 people and like just share resources with them and stuff. And it's cool to see like what these indie developers can do with just a little bit of extra backing.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's, it says all the money's going back to the indie dev, even if it's nothing more than just like a curated selection, it's good for the indie devs to have the EA stamp.
And it's good for EA to have some
Free publicity
Goodwill,
for them, dude.
and it's goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes them not look like the evil corporation that
Right.
everybody likes to paint them out
Please,
to
they
be.
were voted
Yeah.
like
I
worst
mean,
company in America like 4 years in a row.
We're
Yeah.
moving past that, I think.
We're past it, but
Yeah.
people don't forget.
I do think that this kind of move from them is at least semi-informed by them trying to get away from that image though, and
Yeah.
show that like they
care
that they like
about video games.
they care about games, that they're not like just like
Not just
money,
for money.
hungry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's really unfair just because like at the end of the day like EA does some shit I really don't like, but like they make a lot of good games. Like none of these games that we've seen, like even if they're not for me, they all look solid. Like I don't give a fuck about Madden, but Madden's a good game every year.
Hey,
That's a
at
good
least
point.
with Madden.
That's a good point.
So whatever. So yeah, the next thing they got into was their batch of Star Wars titles. They confirmed Battlefront 2. We know that there is we saw a VR helmet in the dev trailer, which we'll talk a little bit about in the Sony press conference podcast. We also saw a very, very brief glimpse of Visceral and Amy Hennig, who is the writer of the first 3 Uncharted games. She's working on a action game. We saw like a sliver of footage. And then we also know that Respawn is working on a third-person action game from Star Wars. So really, absolutely no new information at all.
It's also important to note that while we're talking about Respawn's game, is that Respawn's action game is being headed by the same guy who is the head of the first 3 God of War games.
That's good news.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
which is really cool
That's
because
super important.
the Force Unleashed games were just what if Star Wars was a God of War ripoff?
Yep.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I mean, it was still fun.
just because they were
Still
super
was
enjoy
short.
playing those games.
I don't like
Yeah.
those games either.
Yeah,
Really?
Fun, but they
I-
were just like 6 hours long.
Like yeah,
unfortunately.
once I was able to throw Wookiees off a bridge as Darth Vader, you pretty much
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you
listen,
had me.
That's the
I had
biggest
to think of
problem
that
with
experience, then
the
that
Force
next level,
Unleashed
though.
is that it blows its load in the tutorial. It's just like, oh, I'm Darth Vader. Now
I'm trying to give you a high five.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I thought you were
I thought-
shutting me down.
No,
because
no.
it blows its load.
Actually,
all the
No,
time.
I
no,
thought you were gonna-
sly high five because I could not agree more that the first level is the peak of that experience. Okay,
We saw Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
We also saw Battlefield 1.
Whoa.
so if you've been
Half
living
that.
under a rock, we didn't plan for that. It's called a segue.
Yeah.
If you've been
If you've been digging a trench.
Battlefield 1 is the next Battlefield installment. Takes place during World War One. It looks really fucking cool.
You dig
Yeah.
trenches.
I'm not a Battlefield guy. I'm not a huge first-person shooter guy. This game looks fucking
Dude,
sweet.
You get to be a Battlefield engineer, it doesn't matter.
Let's watch.
Everything's
Awesome.
better.
Okay, Battlefield 1 trailer.
If you're a
That's
child,
nice.
you
Yeah.
cannot watch this.
Yeah. That's a,
Oh man.
Get out
French
of here.
tank.
Fucking ads.
I think. Oh, a Luger.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I
know.
Luger to the ear.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know, dude. I can't believe how excited I am for this game.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
I played like a lot of old school Battlefield. And it's
Yeah.
really cool to see it going back to
I
its
know.
roots.
Because I had 1942 was my shit.
Look at this.
I was more of a Vietnam.
Bayonet!
God.
Stabbing the pyro.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm glad we're going back
Howitzer!
and like shooting up
Field guns.
the picturesque 1940s European country,
Yes.
or 19 teens.
Yeah, 19 teens.
European countryside, as opposed to just like, oh, we're gonna blow up this major city.
Look at it.
We're gonna blow up this
Zeppelins.
major city.
Fucking Zeppelins.
Also,
And biplanes.
a World War game where if you play the German side, you're not instantly evil.
Debatable.
I mean,
but
you're still
okay.
the bad guys.
But you're
Also,
still the bad guys.
Turks,
I
guys.
mean, yeah, that's true. They'll
There's
have.
horses.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Damn right there is. Mounted cavalry were a big deal in World War One.
Oh yeah.
Just ask the Polish.
So were donkeys, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Dig a trench to survive the artillery.
And you can actually dig trenches.
Yes, that
there's
was
a
not a
trench
joke.
digging mechanic.
No joke.
Oh, I remember the horse level from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Arabian Nights.
Hey man, it's trademark.
So,
We'll
yeah.
get sued.
Well, that looks just.
October 21st.
Whoa,
That looks awesome.
man.
Yep, you
That
can
game
play it
looks
first
a
on
lot of fun.
Xbox.
So
Looks really cool.
I'm excited.
Now, is it coming out for PlayStation at all?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's just coming out on. I think the beta is
Well,
on
it's
Xbox
not-
and PC first.
It's
Oh,
not
PC.
on Xbox as just like it's a thing launching on Xbox. They have this EA Access program that's part of their partnership with Microsoft, where Xbox owners who subscribe to EA Access can like try 6 hours of a game for free. So
That's
like
pretty
you can
cool.
try Mirror's Edge Catalyst for free
Okay.
like a week before it came
Yeah,
out.
that's neat.
Also, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is out, and EA hasn't told anyone that.
I didn't know it
I
was
didn't know
out.
that either.
Yep, it's been out for like a week and getting pretty good reviews.
That's
Let's
cool,
do a Let's Play of it.
I guess. I didn't
And you
know
got an
it was
Xbox. We can do Xbox things now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Which we'll have more to talk
We're gonna
about in the
great but late-
Xbox episode.
Yeah, we're gonna
Whoa.
great but late the whole fucking Halo series. I bought the Master Chief Collection in Halo 5. I've only ever played Reach. I'm excited.
Do it.
I'll play it with you.
Great but late's 1 through 3 of Halo.
Maybe my friend Jared won't hit me in the back of the head and kill me every 5 seconds.
Oh, that's the thing. I can just fucking grief you the whole.
Yeah,
you
co-op
totally
campaign.
can.
Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know.
Alright guys, so thank you for joining us on episode 1 of our E3 coverage where we talked about all about EA's conference. Not technically at E3, but you know, whatever.
Whatever.
They're weird. I don't know why they did this. It wasn't really that great of a conference for them to compete with E3, but that's a topic for another podcast.
See you next time, guys.
Yes. We'll see you for Bethesda.
Like and subscribe.